Hello, good afternoon. My name is Frank Louie. I'll be your moderator for today's session. Welcome to this webinar sponsored by the City of Los Angeles Department of Cannabis Regulation, Business Licensing and Compliance, also known as the BLC Assistance Program. BLC programming is designed to assist social equity applicants in Los Angeles in obtaining a commercial cannabis license and operating a successful cannabis business. This installment of our 2025 webinar series focuses on business plan development, part 1. Now, before we get started, let's take a moment to review some housekeeping rules. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and can be viewed only on DCR's learning management system after the editing process. You will be muted with cameras off for the duration of the webinar. This means that your camera and audio functions will not be available to you during this session. However, you will be able to see and hear all the panelists. There's an open chat box where you can interact with one another for networking or comment on the information. Please use caution when sharing personal information in the public forum and keep your questions focused on today's topic. Please ask questions about today's subject matter in the Q&A box. We are gathering and responding to your questions throughout the presentation, and we'll have a Q&A session where you will get responses in the last portion of today's event. You are encouraged to utilize the Q&A box at the bottom pane of your Zoom screen. If you use the Q&A box for questions, everyone will be able to see the questions when they are answered. Finally, please note that today's content was not created by the Department of Cannabis Regulation or the City of Los Angeles and is for informational purposes only. This information is subject to change and does not replace or supersede Los Angeles Municipal Code nor constitute legal advice. If you have specific questions outside of today's topic, please call 213-978-0738 during business hours, which is Monday through Thursday, 10 to 4 p.m., to speak to a DCR representative. And now I'd like to introduce you to our guest presenter, LaWanda Knox. LaWanda Knox is the founder and CEO of Make Green Go, a cannabis equity consulting firm that has been breaking barriers and building pathways since day one, with 13 years of deep experience in cannabis equity programs across California and beyond. She's not just talking about equity, she's delivering results that matter. LaWanda has guided equity businesses to 40 or 50% increases in product orders and helped secure distribution deals across the supply chain. From Oakland to San Francisco, Richmond to Sacramento, and even Washington State and Colorado, she's provided technical assistance and grants management that actually move the needle. Through her support, writing business plans the traditional way, LaWanda knows firsthand how expensive and time-consuming the process can be. That's why she's bringing AI-powered solutions directly to cannabis equity participants through these online presentations for the Los Angeles BLC. LaWanda speaks the language of Ubuntu. I am because you are. She's committed to making sure equity isn't just a buzzword, but a lived reality for social equity cannabis entrepreneurs building generational wealth in an industry built on their community's backs. Now I would like to ask LaWanda to join me on screen. Welcome, LaWanda, and feel free to start sharing your screen and your presentation. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for that introduction, Frank. I appreciate it. All right, so good day, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I am LaWanda Knox, and today we're going to talk about something that probably causes you stress.
Hey,
Writing your business plan.
your notes are showing, Luanda.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Thank you for letting me know that that's what was showing.
Or yeah, maybe reshare.
Okay, so let me reshare and then I'll start over actually. All righty. Okay, so yes, thank you. So thank you for that introduction. I'm LaWanda Knox, and thank you for being here. And today we're going to talk about something that probably stresses you out, writing the business plan. You might be thinking that business plans are expensive and business plans take forever, and I don't even know where to start. And I hear you on that. That's exactly why we're here today. By the end of this session, you're going to know how to use AI to write your own professional business plan, the kind of plan that'll impress investors and actually help you run your business. And you're going to do it in hours or days, not months. So let's get into it. So let me tell you who I am and why I'm qualified to teach you this. Like I said, I'm Lawanda, and I've been in cannabis for over 13 years and serving equity applicants for 8 of those years. I've created California's first equity public awareness campaigns, the first equity summit and expo, and I've been working with equity entrepreneurs since day one of these programs, technical assistance programs. Here's the thing. I've written business plans for startups. I've consulted with people trying to get licensed, and I've made thousands of dollars doing this work. And I've seen what happens when people can't afford to hire someone like me. They struggle, they submit weak plans. Sometimes they don't even write the business plans at all. So let me be real with you. A professional business plan costs anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000. Most of you can't afford that, right? Heck, when I was starting out, I couldn't afford that either. But you still need one for your investors, for your partners, and just for running your business. So that's why I'm bringing AI directly to you, not to replace the work you need to do, but to help you organize what you already know and present it professionally. So today, you're going to learn how to be your own business plan writer. So here's the shift in thinking that I need you to make today. Number one, AI does not replace the work that you will do. AI helps you organize what you know. You bring the knowledge, and AI brings the structure and the polish. Before we jump into the demo, we need to talk about what AI can and cannot do because there's a lot of hype out there, and I want you to have realistic expectations. AI is powerful. It's it, but this is what it can do for you. First, it can translate your ideas into professional business language. You know what you want to say, but maybe you don't know how to say it in a way that sounds polished. AI fixes that. Second, it can structure your thoughts into the required sections. Business plans have a specific format. AI knows that format and can organize your information properly. Third, it can generate multiple versions for different audiences. The plan you show investors might emphasize financials, but the plan you show the city might emphasize community impact. I, AI can help you customize that. And finally, and this is huge, it saves you weeks of staring at a blank screen trying to figure out where to start. That alone is worth learning this. But here's what you need to understand. AI cannot know your neighborhood or customers the way you do. I don't care how smart it is, it doesn't know Crenshaw, it doesn't know South LA, it doesn't know your community. Only you know that. AI cannot make your business decisions for you. It can help you think through options, but at the end of the day, you're the CEO. You decide. And look, let me just say this to keep it real. AI is not going to make you a millionaire. I wish it would, but it's a tool, not a magic wand. Your success still depends on your hard work, your vision, and your execution. Which brings me to the most important point. AI only knows what you tell it. Let me say that again because this is critical. AI only knows what you tell it. If you feed it your research, your information, and your data, you'll get good results back. If you feed it nothing, you'll get made up garbage that won't help you at all. AI will literally make stuff up to fill in the blanks. And that's not going to pass with investors. So the real work is still on you. You have to do your research. You have to know your market. You have to understand your competition. You have to know your numbers, at least have a good starting point with those numbers. AI's job is to take all that knowledge you bring and help you organize it and communicate it professionally. So you bring the knowledge and AI brings the structure and the polish. That's the deal. All right, so quick overview of what's in a business plan. There are 8 main sections. You've probably heard of these before, but let me just run through them anyway. First is the executive summary. This is your overview. Think of it as like your elevator pitch on paper. And by the way, you write this last. You can't summarize something that you haven't even written yet. And then there's your company description, which is who you are and what you do and why your business exists. Then there's the market analysis, your customers, your competition, and why there's opportunity. The organization and management plan, part of your plan. That's your team, your structure, who's running what, products and services, what you're selling, and why people will want to buy it. Marketing and sales strategy, how you're going to reach customers and make sales. Financial projection, that's your numbers, costs, revenue, when you'll break even. And if you need it, and most of us do, ask for the money. That's your funding request, how much money you need and what you'll use it for. So today, we're going to focus on how to use AI to write these sections with your information. We're not going to take a deep dive into these sections because you can find that anywhere. We're going to show you how to actually write them using AI. So are you ready to see this in action? I hope so. So I'm going to show you a real example of how this works. Meet Marcus. Marcus is an LA DCR cannabis equity participant. Now, I made that up. I made up Marcus for this presentation. But for the purpose of this, he wants to open a dispensary in South LA, specifically in the Crenshaw district. Now, Marcus has done his homework. He's walked his neighborhood, he's visited his competition, he's talked to potential customers, he understands who he's serving and what they need. But now he needs to turn all that research into a professional market analysis section for his business plan. This is the section where you prove there's actually a market for your business, that people will buy what you're selling. So how does he do it? Okay, so watch this. Here's the prompt Marcus is going to give to AI. Now I'm going to pause here so you can take a screenshot. This is yours to take and use for your own purposes. So look at what Marcus is doing. He's not asking AI to research for him. He's not asking AI to make stuff up. He's giving AI his research and asking it to organize that research into a professional format. See how it starts? I'm writing a business plan for my cannabis retail dispensary and need help creating the market analysis section. I've done my research and will provide you with specific information. So he's being clear about what he needs. And then look, he gives AI all the details. His business type, a storefront dispensary, his location, Crenshaw District, South LA, his equity status, LA DCR participant, his target market. And notice he doesn't just say everyone or my target market is people who like weed. He's specific, Black and Latino community, ages 21 to 45. He's specific about the income levels, the values, location, and details. This is your research going in. This is what you learn from walking the neighborhood or the neighborhood you'll do business and talking to your community. So Marcus fed all this information to AI. Now let's see what AI gave him back. Okay, so look at this. AI took Marcus's bullet points that he typed in as a prompt and turned them into professional business plan language. So I'm going to read a few sentences. So this is what AI kicked out. Our dispensary will serve the diverse Crenshaw district community of South Los Angeles with a primary focus on residents aged 21 to 45 who represent the largest and most active cannabis consumer demographic in the area. This community is predominantly Black and Latino, with a median household income ranging from $45,000 to $65,000, representing working and middle-class families who value quality products at accessible price points. So, and then he goes on to talk about the target market. So notice what AI did here. It took Marcus's research, the stuff he knew about his neighborhood, and organized it in a way that sounds professional. It's using business terminology, it's structured logically, and it flows well. But here's what's important. Every fact in here came from Marcus. AI didn't make up those income numbers. AI didn't invent the demographic information. Marcus provided all of that. AI just made it sound professional. So this is what I mean by you're bringing the knowledge and AI's bringing the polish. Let me show you the next part. So here's the rest of Marcus's prompt. Again, you could pause here and screenshot this. Look at how he describes his competition. He doesn't just say there are other dispensaries. He tells AI exactly what he found. Dispensary big chain number 1 is corporately owned, impersonal, has high prices, doesn't carry any equity brands. And then there's big chain number 2, similar problems with that dispensary. And then there's a small equity dispensary. And he's saying that they're good, but they have limited capacity. And then this is key. He tells AI what makes him different. He's going to hire locally. He's going to carry equity brands at affordable pricing with actual numbers. He's going to have a welcoming environment. So all of this information Marcus gathered, this is his competitive research. And at the end, he tells AI exactly what he needs. Please write a professional market analysis section that shows investors why my dispensary will succeed. So again, these are clear instructions, specific information. That's the formula. And here's what he gets back. So I'm going to read a few more sentences from this prompt. The Crenshaw District cannabis retail landscape is currently dominated by corporate operators that while maybe successful in revenue terms, have created significant market gap for community-focused retail experiences. And then it goes on to say, our dispensary will differentiate itself through 3 key strategic advantages. 1, authentic community integration by hiring locally and employing staff who live in and understand the neighborhood. We will create genuine connections with customers. 2, equity brand partnership strategy. We will prioritize products from cannabis equity businesses and minority-owned and veteran-owned manufacturers, directly supporting economic justice. And 3, accessible pricing model. Our pricing strategy targets the $35 to $50 range of quality flower compared to $45 to $65 at corporate location, a 20 to 30% price advantage. So this is what AI did. It took Marcus's observations about his competition and turned them into a professional competitive analysis. It organized his advantages into clear strategic points. It uses business language like market gap and differentiation strategy. But every single fact here, the locations, the pricing, the approach, that all came from Marcus's research and prompt writing. This is the power of what we're teaching you today. So here's what just happened. Marcus's research turned his notes into a polished section for his business plan that he can copy and paste into a Word or Google Doc. It took him 5 minutes instead of 5 hours. It's written in clear, professional language that will impress investors and is ready to go in his business plan. Now, and this is important, this part is about 80% done. Marcus still needs to add the final 20% touch. Maybe he wants to add a specific detail. Maybe he wants to adjust the tone to sound more like him. Maybe he catches something that needs to be more precise. But that's way easier than starting from scratch, staring at a blank screen, trying to figure out how to write a market analysis section. AI did the heavy lifting, but Marcus provides the finishing touches. That's also how this works. Now, before we go any further, let me say this. AI is your writing partner, but AI is not your cannabis attorney. It's not your accountant. It's not your real estate agent, and it's not your insurance agent. It's not your security contractor, and it's definitely not your business consultant. Listen, AI can help you write about security protocols, but it cannot install your cameras. We're not there yet. Here's when you still need real professionals. You still need to have a cannabis attorney review your contracts with investors before you sign anything to avoid predatory practices. And have a cannabis attorney review the operations section of your plan. You still need to have an accountant verify your financial projections with investors before you sign anything, or excuse me, with investors. Um, and AI can format the numbers, but it cannot tell you if your numbers are off base. So you're still going to need an accountant to look at your financial projections. And you still need a real estate agent to help you negotiate your leases. Don't sign anything without professional help. You still need to talk to an insurance agent to make sure you're properly covered. You still need to talk to a cannabis business consultant and have them review your business plan and provide you with feedback. But here's why AI is still worth it. Even though you need these pros, AI helps you prepare. When you show up to your consultant with a drafted business plan instead of nothing, they spend less time creating and more time reviewing. That saves you money because you've already done the work up front. So AI makes you a better client for the professionals that you hire. That's the value. So we've focused on the business plan today, but I want you to know AI can help you with way more than just your initial business plan. AI can also help you with standard operating procedures, your SOPs that DCC requires. AI can help you document your processes professionally. It can help you with responding to DCC requests. When the state sends you compliance questions, AI can help you draft a professional response. Completing your annual license applications, both local and state, AI can help you organize all that information clearly. Organizing information for your cannabis tax filings, because there's a lot of tax paperwork in this industry, but AI can help you with that. Creating staff training materials like employee handbooks, training manuals, all that stuff. Writing investor pitch decks and updates, keeping your investors informed, and more. Like AI can do way more than that. Once you actually learn how to use AI as a business tool, you'll find all kinds of ways to use it. So we're going to dive deeper into these real world applications in part 2. But I wanted you to know the business plan is just the beginning. All right, so here's your homework before part 2. First, choose your AI tool. I didn't tell you which one to use today because honestly, several of them work well. There's ChatGPT, there's Claude, there's Google Gemini, and there are many others. Start with the free version first. If you use it a lot and it's helping you, then consider upgrading to the paid version, which may cost around $20 a month. But free is fine to start. Second, and I can't stress this enough, do your research. Don't skip this step. You have to know your neighborhood, your customers, your competition, your costs. Do the work. AI will help you organize it, but you have to gather the information first. And you can even gather it in notes or even jot it down, but do your research. Third, try writing 2 or 3 sections of your business plan using your information. Practice with the prompts that you captured today. See what works, see what doesn't. You can always talk to AI and let it know what you do and don't like about what it wrote, and you don't have to worry about hurting his feelings. It will rewrite what you say that you do or don't like, and it will provide additional information for clarity. So you can go back and keep revising the sections until you're satisfied with what it came out with. So remember, AI organizes what you know, feed it good information, and then you're going to get good results. If you feed it nothing, then you'll get nothing useful. And so once you're up and running with your dispensary, or if you're already up and running now, or you're making products, and I hope all of you get there, I want you to participate in Equity Week as a retail partner or equity brand. Equity Week is a campaign about celebrating equity-owned products and businesses. It's about showing your community what equity really looks like. It's about supporting each other and building public awareness about your brand. This is how we build together, and this is how we create the ecosystem that serves us. So follow us on social media at Equity Week and visit our website that's on the screen at www.equity-week.com to learn more about how to get involved. So let's build this movement together. And remember, you've got this. AI serves as your thinking partner. It's available 24/7, but you remain the ultimate decision maker. You're the CEO. You conduct the research, you make the final decisions. AI just assists you in communicating professionally. This is your business. This is your vision. This is your community you're serving. AI is just a tool to help you tell that story in a way that opens doors for you. So don't be intimidated by the business plan or using AI. Don't let it be the thing that stops you. You have the knowledge, you have the vision. Now you have the tool to communicate it professionally. So use it to build your business, to serve your community, and to create generational wealth. That's why we're doing this. So again, I'm LaWanda Knox, and you can reach me at lawanda@makegringo.com. You can check out our websites. And then I will see you in part 2, where we're going to talk about how to use AI for real life business situations, like updating your plan, responding to changes, handling all that compliance stuff. And so thank you for being here. And now I want you to write those business plans, and I'm open for Q&A.
Thank you, LaWanda. Great information and super valuable. And we've got a lot of questions that have been submitted in advance that we'll go through and try to clarify for the audience. But couple clarifications on the value of these tools are amazing. I mean, like you said, they're a writing partner, right? So you got to make sure that you communicate with the technology and provide it with the facts and the specific details. But to produce just the mechanics of producing the final product, the actual physical printed business plan,
Yeah,
will it do that for you, or is it you have to then, still format it into, Microsoft Word or something like that, right?
right.
Just to finish it up.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So yes, it will create a printable version of the business plan. Like if you give it enough information in the prompt, or you feed it, because you can actually upload documents, right? You
Mhm.
can actually upload your notes, or you can upload things. So if you wanted to just kick out a full business plan, it can do that for you. But what I suggest is to break it down and to open up a Google, like have your AI, window open on one side, and then have your
Mhm.
Google Doc open on another side, and just copy and paste,
Yep.
right? And then you can even do that initially, and then feed that document back to AI, and then have it kick out the full plan.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying. And that's how I've used it is you get the content, you drop it into Google Doc or Word, and you start building your actual, the physical plan, right? Not just the content, right? The
And
physical plan.
right, and then some people are like, well, I don't even know. I mean, you kind of went through the sections really fast. Like, how do I know I'm putting in how do I know I'm copying and pasting it the right way? So there is
Yeah.
another tool, and it does use AI because see, AI is in everything.
Yeah.
So like there's a tool called Live Plan, LIVE plan. And it's Live Plan is a business plan, is business plan software. And
Hmm.
so you can use Live Plan to create the sections and it will kick out the business plan for you. And so there's AI built into Live Plan and you can use it out AI outside of Plan, but that's another option for
Yeah.
drafting the whole plan.
Yep. No, that's great. Good clarification. And as we know, AI is a great tool, but you still need to read and evaluate.
It
You know,
hallucinates.
yeah, exactly. Because sometimes it says things that are a little bit beyond what we meant, right?
That's right. Like so, and one of the things I like to do is if I find a good article or some good research, or let's say I go on DCC and I'm looking at the compliance information, I'll download that
Right.
document and then I'll add it to the chat with
Yep.
AI and have it reference that document so that I know, so I'm pretty confident that that it's, giving me good information.
Yeah. Great. Well, let's jump into the Q&A.
Okay.
We've got a lot of great questions that were submitted. So, question one, what if I've already started writing my business plan the old-fashioned way? And most of us have, right? We started a few years ago, or we started 6 months ago. Can I still use AI to help me finish it, or do I need to start over?
Great question. So no, you don't need to start over. You can pick up wherever you have left off, and AI can help you finish it. It can help you expand it. It can help you improve sections. Because a lot of times people write the business plan or a draft of it and they put it down and it collects dust, but it's
Yeah.
actually a living document.
Yeah.
As the business changes, as it evolves, it's your blueprint. So you should be using you should, if you've written the business plan, you should be going back to it, and AI would be a perfect tool in order to improve what you've already written.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you mentioned it before. If I wrote a business plan
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 months ago, I could take that whole document and upload it in and say, okay, I want to update this with some new information, and it'll just start working from there, right?
It'll start working from there. Ooh, better yet, let's say you have the business plan and you've started running your business. You
Yeah.
can put, you can put you could put actual information in there and the business plan or just the actual information, and then it will start to help you, with real world situations. That's what we'll go into part two.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely upload the plan that you have and go and work from there.
Great, great. And then here's a really great question on some technical, because not all of us have used or have been trained. So this question that came in, I'm not very tech savvy. Is AI hard to learn, or will I be able to figure it out? And that's a great question because not everyone's comfortable with that technology, right?
That's true. But if you have a phone and you know how to use text, if you can text, you can use AI. Because seriously, it's like you're just typing what you know in plain English, hitting enter, and then reading what comes back to you. So, there's no coding needed,
Hmm.
there's no complicated menus, there's no technical stuff. It's just, the hard part is not learning how to use AI. The hardest part is just making sure that you know the information well enough so that what you read back to you, you can determine if that is
Hmm.
true or not. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you can understand it, but yeah, AI is the easy part. It's just making sure that you practice it and you're comfortable with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a great point. And you mentioned the variance on the different tools out there, and
Yeah,
everyone will have a comfort zone on which one they like the best. But I want to just kind of expand on your comment. It will generate some professional sounding content, but you
right.
need to make sure you can articulate that, because if an investor or a partner is going to ask you some clarifying questions. You can't go, oh, I don't know, AI wrote that. It's got to be right.
No, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Because
Yeah,
yeah, it'll write a business plan for you, but then what good is it if you don't know what's in it because you didn't
yeah,
read it, or you read it and you didn't understand it, or you read it, you understand it, but you can't explain it.
yes,
So you have to be able to do all the things.
yeah. So you still have to absorb it and make sure it's yours. It's what it's what you want to communicate, and you can articulate it and expand
That's
on it, right?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the business plan is just your idea, your thoughts on paper.
Yep, yep, great. Next question. You talked a lot about doing our own research. What are
Mhm.
some specific things equity entrepreneurs should research that might be different from what a regular business owner would research?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I mean, so in this specific case, you would want to, there's specific requirements and benefits of LA's equity program. So that's going to make your business plan a little more nuanced. Then there's, you know, what other partners or support that you need to be successful. You may need to, there might be certain partnerships along the supply chain that you've already networked with or figured out. You can include that in your plan. Like if you're a retailer or you're a manufacturer and you already have distribution partnerships, that's something unique that you would want to put in your plan. Let's see here. The compliance standards for cannabis is different from any other industry. So
Mhm.
you'll want to make sure that you understand DCC's requirements, your local requirements, the specific license for your specific license type. And again, that's information that you could also, even if you don't understand it, if you can find that information and feed that to AI, you can have it teach you, like
Mm.
literally be your tutor so that you understand the compliance
Mhm.
of cannabis in your county and in your state.
Mhm. Good. Yep. So that makes it more and more unique and differentiated from everyone else, right?
That's right.
Because the reality of it is a lot of people are going to use the AI tools to build business plans over the next coming months and years, right?
Yeah.
So, you don't want them to all sound the same, so they have to be very customized. Here's another
Yep.
great question. You mentioned the paid version of AI tools that cost around $20 a month. Is the free version really good enough, or will I need to pay to get quality results from my business plan?
Yeah. The difference is, well, yeah, so you can absolutely write your business plan on the free version, the entire business plan. The difference is that it might limit you on how many prompts or how many times you can go back and forth with in that conversation in that chat.
Um,
So but then it usually resets itself the next day, so you may have to come back to it later. You may have to take a pause, come back
mhm,
later, and then continue the conversation, but you can do all that on the free version. But if that starts
mm,
to annoy you, like you're using it a lot, then you if you upgrade and pay like the $20 a month,
mhm.
then you don't have those limits or you don't have as many limits and you have more features. So you
I
don't get
see.
timed out as fast. That's the main difference.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, and that investment may be well worth it because you know, it's an it's a you're digging in, you're working hard. You don't want to be like, oh, you've maxed out your 15 inquiries, right? Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially if you're going to use it ongoing,
yeah,
right, then you don't want to max out.
yep. Great. Here's another great question. How do I know if what AI writes is actually good? What if it sounds professional but is actually wrong or doesn't make sense for cannabis businesses?
Yeah, that can happen. I mean, truthfully, that can happen. But this is why you're going to this is why you're going to do your research, and then you're going to review what comes back to you, what it kicks out, and make sure that it sounds good and it sounds professional. Because remember, you wanted to organize your information, and so if you provide it with if you provide it with bad information, then it'll sound professional, but it could still be wrong. So AI can
Hmm.
definitely be wrong. And then, so yeah, you can read it out loud to yourself, make sure it makes sense, and also remember to have a professional review the plan and give you feedback. So I think that should be the last step before you actually use it or put it into, put it out there is to have a professional read it and give you
Hmm.
that feedback.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. And then here's kind of a related question, but well, because you're going to use this business plan in your, let's say, your investor in fundraising. Will the investor know I used AI to write my business plan? And is that going to count against me?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with using AI to write the plan. I think that in this case, I think the investor really cares about, can you represent this business plan to
Yeah.
me, right? And do you know this information well enough? So if you start umming and on and you don't really know what's in it, then yeah, it could work against you because you have this nice polished business plan, but you can't
Right.
even sell it to me. But if you make it yours, if you make it your plan and you can articulate what's in it, and you then the investor, there's nothing wrong with the fact that you used AI to create the plan in
Yeah.
itself because you know it and you made it yours.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, yeah, I don't think it would count against you. What would count against you is if it was fake, it wasn't
Hmm.
based on real research, it wasn't based on real numbers, that would count against you.
Yep. Yeah, which is to our earlier discussion around, owning the content, being able to articulate, explain the content when second and third level questions are asked of you by an investor. And that's really the difference, right?
Because they're definitely going to ask. Because remember, the
Yep.
investor, they're thinking, I want to say no. How are you going to make me say yes? So
Yep.
they're definitely going to scrutinize.
Exactly. And here's a question around time frames and urgency. Realistically, how long will it take me to write my business plan using AI if I'm starting from scratch?
Well, so if you've done the research ahead of time, then you can do it over a weekend. You can actually do have the writing done over a few days. But if you haven't done the research, then that's what's going to take you the longest. And so you would want to give yourself 2 to 3 weeks to gather information and visit your competitors and understand your market to get the numbers, together. And then once you have that research done, the actual writing of the plan with, using AI could take like, 8 to 12 hours. So you want to give yourself a few days to review it, edit it. Like I spend more time reviewing it, going back and forth with AI and
Hmm.
reading what it wrote than I actually would probably, writing it from scratch. But but it writes better than I do.
Yep.
Its logic is better than mine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So therefore, give yourself time to make sure you review it and edit it and have that ability to go back and forth to refine it.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I would say realistically, with when you doing your research and the writing and reviewing of it, probably 3 to 4 weeks to be safe if you're
Hmm.
starting from scratch, and then a little bit extra time if you need someone to review it.
Yep. Yep. And that still is I mean that's still accelerated, right? Because to produce a professional, well done business plan in 3 or 4 weeks is still amazing, right? Right?
That's
Right?
still amazing, and you've saved yourself so much money.
Right. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because yeah, usually if I'm working with the client, then and I'm writing the business plan for them, it's going to take us like double that amount of time. And then yeah, and it's just going, well, if I'm writing it for them, it still might take 4 weeks, but we have to meet, regularly, and
Hmm.
it's time consuming.
Right. Right. And then here's a really great question, and we'll end on this one. So it came in from an equity participant. A lot of us equity applicants are going after similar business types in similar neighborhoods. How
Mhm.
do I make my business plan stand out when we're all using the same AI tools? Which is a great
Yeah,
question.
it's a perfect question because I mean that does get to the heart of the matter. I mean, but here's the thing. So whether you use AI or not, all business plans have the same structure,
Yep.
right? They're going to have the same sections no matter what. But what
Yep.
makes your plan stand out is that what you put into it. How what the research that you've done, your vision, your personal story, the connections that you make, those relationships, the your staff, your management, like how you're going to serve the community. Those details are the things that you know, and that's what's going to make that's what's going to make your plan stand out, because we can use the exact same prompts. Like you can
Yep.
use the same prompts from the example that I showed, but depending upon your business model and the neighborhood and your approach, the output is going to be different for me than it is
Mhm.
for you. Using the same prompt, using the same AI tool. So think about it
Mhm.
like, if everybody's using, the chat GPT, that doesn't mean that everyone's prompt writing is going to be the same. It's just a tool.
Mhm.
So it's the content that's going to make it different. And that's what's going to make you stand out.
Yeah, and yeah, 100%. And your personal story, your life, it, your lived experiences are your own, and they're all different than everyone else. So, that makes that makes that plane yours, right?
That makes it yours. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then especially if you let it grow with you over time. So because it's going to evolve,
yeah,
which we'll get into in part two. So,
yeah.
yep.
Well, that's great, Lawanda. Let's wrap up there. A lot of great questions. I mean, business plans aren't new, but the tools that everyone uses to develop them are new.
Yes,
And we're all on this learning curve to come up to speed on how to leverage those tools.
absolutely.
Um, and the better we do that, the more efficient we are, and the more money we save, and that's kind of the net of it all, right? But producing a great product, and maybe doing it more efficiently and productively than we've all done for decades, prior, right?
Oh gosh,
Um,
yes.
but thank you again for your presentation, Lawanda. Thank everyone for attending this informative webinar offered by the City of Los Angeles Department of Cannabis Regulation. This webinar recording will be found on DCR's Learning Management System. If you have any questions on accessing your account, please email dcr.sep@lacity.org. Thank you again for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.